In many places in this country, men and women are kept from voting. Systematic and ingenuous discrimination.
There is a need now for new legislation.
One of the most monumental laws in the entire history of American freedom.
In 1965, the country faced voter suppression and police brutality targeting people of color, protests outside the White House, motivating President Lyndon Johnson to sign the Voting Rights Act on August 6, 1965. 95 years earlier, the 15th Amendment attempted to guarantee the right to vote for black men, but in many places, particularly in the Jim Crow South, officials against integration did everything they could to keep black people off the voter rolls. In Dallas County, Alabama, demonstrators simply asking to register to vote were met by Sheriff Jim Clark.
I order you to disperse, otherwise you're under arrest or contempt of court.
Among 14,000 black people living in Selma, Alabama, only 300 were registered voters. When demonstrators attempted to march from Selma to Montgomery, Sheriff Clark's officers attacked. Millions of Americans witnessed the violence on television.
The president referred to the events in Selma as an American tragedy.
Before a joint session of Congress, he named the ways in which black Americans were routinely disenfranchised.
He may be disqualified because he did not spell out his middle name. He may be asked to recite the entire Constitution. That the only way to pass these barriers is to show a white skin.
The resulting bipartisan bill passed both chambers of Congress by wide margins. On the day he signed the Voting Rights Act into law, Johnson consulted civil rights leaders on his next steps, including a young John Lewis.
If any county anywhere in this nation does not want federal intervention, it need only open its polling places to all of its people.
I think we will see a great rise in the percentage of Negroes represented in government, both local and national.
He was right. Within 2 years, every southern state climbed above 50% registration of its black population, followed by a sharp increase in black congressional representation. It's shameful that it took 95 years to guarantee the protections of the 15th Amendment, and a reminder of what barriers remain. In 2013, the Supreme Court gutted key protections of the Voting Rights Act, with Chief Justice Roberts essentially saying it's an old law and Congress needs to write a new one. In fact, the House passed a new voting rights bill in December, which is now named in honor of late Congressman John Lewis. But it's been sitting on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's desk for the past 8 months. In the words of John Lewis,
We do not want our freedom gradually, but we want to be free now.